Good evening, folks. I'm back for some Goblins. It's midnight. Sort of an odd time to start recording, but that's just how it is today. So I might be a little quieter than I otherwise would be, so I'm just going to be trying to stick close to the mic. This is sort of the swan song of the current Legacy format. I'm more or less assuming we're going to get bans on Monday. So this will probably be my last time playing this iteration of Legacy, which I don't like very much. Which is probably why I'm not producing nearly as many videos as I once did. But I also was away for about a week, so it wasn't just that. Hoping we get some changes. I hope Blue Black Reanimator gets hit. I lean towards the Entomb ban as the solution, and then hitting Oops all spells. And I think there's still an argument to hit the One Ring, but I do think what's going to happen is they're going to hit Oops in some fashion, and they're going to hit. I think they're going to hit Entomb. I think they've banned too many things out of the Blue Black Reanimator deck to try to keep Entomb around, and the deck just keeps coming around. I guess the other thing that might happen is they might ban Tamiyo, which I think is a card that will probably eventually get banned in Legacy, but I don't think now. I think it's probably a little too early for them to pull the trigger on that. Even though it's sort of the class of card that gets banned, which is cheap threat that you can play in a tempo deck that generates card advantage. And like the fact that it doesn't deal damage does matter, but it does. The Planeswalker wins the game kind of shockingly fast when it flips on turn 2. So those are my brief thoughts on what might happen. As far as Goblins goes, I've kind of come back to my Eternal Weekend build almost exactly. I was doing the Thoughtseize stuff for a while, and it was good against a lot of off-meta decks. I think in my last video, it was really impressive against the mono-black Necrodominance deck. Thoughtseizes were really, really clutch. But against, Reanimator and Tempo, Blue-Black Tempo, and Delver and stuff like that, it hasn't been very good. And it's really not the Thoughtseizes themselves that are the problem. It's the compromises to the shell. And I experienced this when I did main deck Fatal Pushes during the Frog era. Same exact dynamic where, in order to cast these cards, you have to make your mana base less powerful, which is you're playing more basics. You're playing fewer utility lands, so you, in a way, you flood out more because you have less to do with your mana. And you're kind of compromising your engine. Goblins, at the end of the day, is a synergy-based deck. I want to build it to need as few pieces as possible to be powerful. But you are trying to make things bigger than the sum of their parts. It's just all about finding the right line of individual power level and synergy. So kind of along those lines, I've got a Siege Gang commander in here because I wanted a top end, finisher goblin that can kill stuff. I wanted something that doesn't care about goblin count. Mux, and also, it's a little bit cheaper than Muxus. It's a way to lock out the game. It's against blue-black in particular. It's nice that it's something you can get into play, and then you can fade a Baragoyf for basically forever. You can use it pretty well to the fact that it doesn't die to Fatal Push or Orcish Bowmasters means that the only thing this is Siege Gang resolved is going to die to is a Hydroblast. And at that point, you still get the 3/1/1s. And maybe an activation out of it. So Siege Gang, I've only played him, a little bit, but he's been good against Blue-Black in the past. In the Psychic Frog era, I like Siege Gang. So I think I cut a Ringleader for him, and then we got Pashik Mons for a little bit more sacrifice synergy Creator Maker in here because I keep losing to stupid new Ugin. The card's absolutely ridiculous. And Creator Maker is really the only answer. It's Planeswalker that you can't flute, and it has like a million loyalty, so you can't really kill it with combat either. So you just have to blow them up. And Creator Maker is a little bit better in a Ancient Tomb context where you can play it on. You can like play and activate it on turn 2. So, I'm like a little rusty. I haven't played in a little while. So I might be making some mistakes. It's also midnight, which is, relatively normal for me to play at, but not to play distracted at. Usually if I'm playing late at night, it's because I have nothing else going on. So this might be a little rough, but we'll see. Oh my god, it's rain. Oh boy. All right. All right, Harain is the Stifle Not Enthusiast. I think I have to lead Lackey then. Try to get this Lackey in underneath a dress down or something to that effect. Forest? Okay. Ooh, hello. Now this is interesting. Ooh, it's very interesting. So I could just trade the Lackey with the Veteran Explorer and then just cast Ringleader post-combat. I could expert the Veteran Explorer and attack with Lackey, put in Ringleader. That's really bad if he can get cast removal spells off of the his 2 untapped mana he'll get from the Veteran Explorer. That is an interesting question. I kind of want to trade. It really depends on how good this Ringleader is. I think I'm just gonna trade. Doing this plays around Bowmasters. Those are pretty damn good. Okay. Vial's pretty rancid. Okay, so I won't attack into these guys. I want to surveil. It's not a huge deal if I can't surveil. I'm out of basics, so there's no point in giving him that much more mana. I am scared of Cabal Therapy, but I think if he had Cabal Therapy, he would have cast it last turn. Sure. Yeah, I can't expert that. That's fine. Matron is great. I wish it was one card deeper, ironically. But still very happy to draw it. Alright, Mux, what's what you got for us today? Ooh. Well, well, well. I'm thinking if I want to kill this Chaos Defiler with the Expert trigger or not. I can Matron for Skirk, sack 3 tokens, sack 3 tokens, cast Matron, get Battle Cry, sack 2 more tokens. It's not that efficient, but is it? I don't think it's going to be lethal because of 3 blockers. So I think I will. I'm just not going to kill the Defiler. And we'll get a Battle Cry for next turn. I probably should have gotten a Skirk anyway to have Siege King activations available. And I'm going to attack with the Ringleader and then just sack it. Get my Seer Slicer trigger. This is much more fun than playing for Stifle Nut. Another Chaos Defiler. Foreign clicks. Okay. Get 2 forests. No, I clicked off the wrong thing. Alright, opponent. You're about to take 1 quadrillion damage. Oh, Jesus. Play that. Mm-hmm. 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 I'm not even gonna bother clicking. It's like 80 damage. Okay. So Nict Fit with big Chaos Defiler. Trashmaster's okay against Chaos Defiler. Against Nict Fit, you can board out your vials because they're going to have They might have like Pernicious Deed, but they also might have, they're just going to ramp you, right? Veteran Explorer is an Aether Vial for you. I think I generally like, I think I'm going to do Flutes and Dismembers. I kind of do like Ghost Vacuum, just because a lot of your stuff's going to die. Maybe I'll just do one Flute, because I don't really know what I'm facing yet in terms of deck composition. Do I want a Pyrokinesis? Fury would be a lot better in this matchup, because you get to hardcast it more often. Just hedge a little bit and make sure I don't get run over by something. Pyrokinesis is also helpful against if there's like an opposition agent, which is very commonly in Nict Fit. Pretty mediocre. Is it good enough to keep? Maybe. Don't really want to keep flooded hands against Nict Fit. This Wasteland's not very good. The benefit of this hand is that it's good against well, it's basically just like functional, like all your draws are good more or less. It's good against Cabal Therapy because no multiples plus Cabal Therapy almost always needs Matron. You mulligan to 6. I think I'm gonna mulligan, but it's close. This is interesting. Keep. Do I bottom the Muxus? Muxus or Battle Cry? Putting back Battle Cry is kind of a hedge against Cabal Therapy. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because I think Cabal Therapy is usually how I'm gonna lose. And having my second Battle Cry in my deck can be kind of helpful later, because if I lose both of them, then the Muxus becomes a lot worse, actually. Oh, that's a start. Okay, we drew a land. I think I'm just going to use my Wasteland because Wasteland's unlikely to be effective later. Okay. Okay, drawing the basic does suck. Don't want that. As long as we don't draw the third basic, I think it's fine. Or second basic, rather. Okay, more lands. I'm going to fetch because I want to thin my deck kind of quickly. Oh, milling that second Badlands actually means that this fetch land is dead now. Well, if the Veteran Explorer pops off, which it will. 2, so 3, sacrifice a desert, exile target creature with mana value X from graveyard, create a 4/4. Okay, activate sorcery. Then you can just sacrifice it as a thing. Well, you're gonna use your land, so kind of seems like a free block. Okay, so this fetch land is now dead, which sucks, but we still have 6 mana. I guess that's a reason to hold on to Wasteland. Chaos Defiler. Okay. Got a big guy. What does he do? 8 mana, exile him, return him as a saga thing. There's a bunch of stuff. Oh god. um, So I can attack, right? Because I can activate. No, I can only activate once, and then it'll only be 5 damage. Okay. That Muxus draw is like maybe the worst draw in my deck, just because of how much it means I die to Cabal Therapy. Defiler. Green Sun. So 4, 5, 6. Green Sun for 3. Okay. Grist. Bowmasters. I'm gonna deny the Grist minus here. Keep my battle cry around, because that means that means if I hit a Skirk off this Muxus, I'm in much better shape. Okay, I will play a Wasteland. Yeah, okay. The Siege Gang Commander off of the Muxus twice is kind of awesome, not gonna lie. Ah, well, that was fun. All right, here for round 2. On the play. This tap land is very awkward for how this hand wants to play. But oh man. If this Vowel gets forced or killed somehow, it's really, really bad for me unless I draw an untapped red source. But I think that's playing the Vial has got to be correct rather than surveilling on turn 1. Okay. Like surveilling on turn 1 just like doesn't even. It's just like, what are you even surveilling for? You just don't know. Prismatic Vista. Island, Tamia. Okay, so some sort of control deck. I do really wish I could play. Well, I guess I can play mate. Ooh, we did it. Ooh, we did it. So now I get to play Bombardiers and kill this Tamio before it gets any cards. Drew force. Okay, well. Getting that force out of the way might just be good because we're going to be able to mux this pretty quickly here. Throwing Tameo, force backup brainstorm is like always my nightmare. But at least we resolved the vial. Okay. It's not very exciting. I think I'm just getting Moxus. Yeah, I'll take a second one. Opponent might just pick up Forcible with the Tameo here. Then we get to kill Tameo. And then just rejam Muxus. This kind of looks like Jeskai, like Thunderclap. Thunder Trap, I should rephrase. Yep. Yep. Okay. So, how do I want to do this? I would love to wasteland my opponent. Because they might not be able to cast Flame of Arnor. But I kind of need to jam Muxus for 2 turns in a row, I think. Yeah. Because they're going to get to draw 2 cards. I'm going to deal myself a lot of damage. We also might not have a blue card other than this. Force Pitch Flame. Okay, cool. Didn't block. Okay. So is Vial staying on 3 or 4 is an interesting question. Okay, it's no longer a question. I guess this game comes down to, do they have another force? Pending the Skirk. Okay. Alright, they need force blue card. If they do, I'm kind of dead. Nope. That's pretty bad. Let's hit the white. Maybe I'm supposed to hit red? I don't think so. Okay. Okay. Third Flame of Arnor. Well, that's horrific for me. Jesus Christ. I need to protect my life total. Oh, I should have double blocked. Oh, I should have double blocked. Oh, that's such a punt. Alright, I'm just gonna go to, well, hold on. What am I trying to hit here? No, I'm just gonna tap like this. Okay. I think I'm gonna lose to these Ancient Tombs. And not double blocking. If I could double, yeah, not double blocking was really, really, really bad. Like stupendous error. But, you know, I clicked. I was just playing too quickly. Yeah, I mean, it was a really shitty Muxus. Two Goblin Lackeys. Yeah. Won't double block this turn. Too easy to get blown out. I wonder if they cash in Tameo. No? Okay. So I have one more Ancient Tomb tap available. Man, casting 2 Muxuses and losing to control is embarrassing, but, you know, you get Force of Will and then you brick. And then put yourself to 3. Like, I've dealt myself a ridiculous amount of damage this game. Ancient Tomb is not free. Okay, there's another flame. Either bile. Okay. As you cast a spell, you draw 2. Okay. So there's no way for me to deny the draw this turn. So I'm probably just playing Expert. They're probably gonna kill this, draw 2. Yeah. It's a lot of Flame of Arnors. Do I use my last bit of life to play Either Bile? Probably not. It's probably not a thing I'm allowed to do. Because I can play this without Ancient Tomb later. I can't play these without Ancient Tomb unless I draw a land. Like, fetch lands are really bad right now. But yeah, failing to double block has cost me a tremendous number of cards. They actually probably shouldn't have attacked with the Thunder Trap. Oh my god, they drew all 4. That's insane. That's insane. Alright, so now I need my opponent to not have a second Force of Will in the top 30 cards, which is pretty unlikely. Yeah. No Cavern, kind of brutal. This deck can't really beat Cavern of Souls game 1. But yeah, 4 Flames is kind of nuts. They've cast, yeah, they cast 4. Pitched one to Force of Will, but then picked it up with Tamiyo. Picked a different one up with Tamiyo. Yeah, I'm pretty dead. Skirk is okay, I guess. Tamiyo down. That's surprising. Okay. Is this like try to Snapcaster to kill me? Yeah. So that's the 5th Flame of Arnor. So I'm dead to Plow, Pending, kind of anything. Sure. Don't really know. It's Pending. Okay. Yeah, dead to my Ancient Tombs. Kind of unfortunate. So yeah, this deck is interesting because it is so like the Flame of Arnor is like really bad if you don't have a wizard in play. So you can like all their wizards are like ETB things, but if you just like spend the card to kill them, you're effectively denying them cards later. So it's kind of an interesting question of like how much do you actually want removal. Creator Maker doesn't really do anything. I can Pyroblast kind of everything in their deck. So I don't know if I actually want Trash Master just for the, what's it called? Astrologian's Planisphere. What do I want to cut? I can cut a Wasteland maybe. Maybe 2 Lackeys. I'm on the play. I don't really actually want to cut lands. Probably cut Skirk. Yeah, this seems reasonable. Okay, I like this hand. We've got Cavern, we've got Reb. Decent threats. Nothing, no ETB stuff. So we're a little vulnerable to a hand of removal spells, but get out of here, Tamiyo. I hate you very much. Okay. Gonna play our Seer Slicer. Might just get Pending Deer. Nope. Well, that's really good for me. Okay, we get to immediately kill that for free. I'm going to save that to Surveil. So I'm going to play... I'm like wondering, do I have to play around Back to Basics? I'll expose the Wasteland. rather than the second cavern. So we get our trigger. Get to kill the Thunder Trap for free. So now they just get to 1-for-1 on the flame, and then I am gonna get to deal a lot of damage next turn. Make 2 tokens. Pending. Okay. Yep, still save the surveil. This opponent's taking a lot of damage now. I think they're going to be too far behind. I guess if they can go Tamiyo plus Flame is still pretty bad for me. But then the game will stall out a little bit, and we'll have a surveil plus a bunch of material on board to... I guess the Seer Slicer still gets to get in, so it's not a complete blank of my offense. And I'm still making tokens that can convert. Yeah, and they have to do it like right now. The Straw Step Pause, okay, so they should be dead then. They can kill this, but they're taking 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. I don't like Flute because of Flame can always blow it up to unlock whatever they want to unlock. Plus they like there's some appeal in that, you know, they reveal something off of Thunder Trap, but I think it's not worth it. Thinking about Dismember, life loss did matter quite a bit in the first game, but they don't really pressure my life total. Like I drew 2 out of 3 Ancient Tombs and I tapped it every single turn. Having an extra answer to turn 1 Tamiyo does matter. Keeping wizards off the board does matter. But what am I cutting? I don't really want to cut more 1-drops. Now I could cut the Wasteland. I guess I could cut the Wasteland now. I'll do that. Okay. Yeah. Has Cavern and Vial are great. No True Red Source is sketchy. Okay, no turn 1 Tamiyo. That's exciting. Okay, we drew Red Source. That's also exciting. I will just lead on Cavern. It kind of tells him to just force the Vial, but if that's what happens, that's what happens. And I want to preserve the fetch, and I don't want to show them the Wasteland necessarily because of that. Okay, so they're probably pending the Vial here. Yep. Okay, a land. Do I Wasteland here? I think I don't, because that just sets me off of tempo. So I'm going to get a mountain. I'm going to play Seer Slicer. Kind of a bummer if this gets Hydroblasted. Okay. Ooh, that's bad for me. That's pretty bad for me. I didn't think they had both artifacts in there, so I don't have Trash Master in my deck, because I probably would Matron for Trash Master here. Didn't attack. Ooh. Interesting. Couple choices here. Couple interesting choices here. I can focus building out my board if I just go expert this, attack, make a token, wasteland them. And then next turn, Bombardiers or Matron, depending on what the board calls for. Getting Bombardiers down now has some appeal because they're tapped out, so like I know this is going to work as a removal spell, but it doesn't put me in a great position if they can then just go like cantrip plus removal. So I think I am going to actually go with the expert plus wasteland. Ooh, they could force of will to keep the token around. That seems terrible for them though. We'll keep him off flame. Okay. Okay. I think this is still fine for me. Still denying wizard type on the battlefield. I will play around back to basics because it's kind of free at this point. So we go Bombardiers. Kill this, throwing the expert. Make a token. And then even if they can kill Bombardiers, we just Matron. Probably just Matron Battlecry plus Surveil. And then Battlecry activate. Double activate is like almost certainly lethal. Okay. No red. Snapcaster. Hydro. It's pretty good Snapcaster. Okay, so now I might go for Muxus instead. I'm taking a lot of damage. I would like something. Ooh, okay. Okay, so they're at 9. I should have attacked first, because if they were at 7, then the Sling Gang's kind of easy lethal. So maybe I do just get Muxus, and then I'm just blocking. Could get Bombardiers. They only have one card, and I'll probably be Pyroblasting a Cantrip or something next turn. Because they're going to be incentivized to just cast stuff because of the Steel Cutter. So then I go to 9, probably 8, 7, 6, 5, but then Muxus can stabilize me. Alright, I think this is safe. I'm going to attack with 1 token. Okay. Here's the critical turn. Okay, immediately Pyroblasting that. Counter. Okay. I don't think they should not have played that. Oh, I guess they want to surveil. Either file just on time. Alright, Muxus, don't fail me this time. One, two, three, four, five, 6 goblins. Wow, that is an insane Muxus. That is an insane Muxus. Holy shit. I gotta screenshot that one. Wow. All right, here for round 3. Opponent is Yorion Gamer, kind of known for playing like a Bant Ephemerate stuff, which makes me want to mulligan this hand. I mean, it's kind of a bad hand in most matchups anyway, so. So is it going to be another Cavern's really important matchup? Most likely. Okay, well, I'll take that. I want all these cards. Don't love putting back the Wasteland, but I think it's between the Wasteland and the Matron. Okay. Let's see what happens to our Matron here. Long Think says Force of Will, but not sure if they should spend it on this or not. Okay. Now what do I get? Kind of want to get a black source for this expert. It's going to do me a lot of damage and puts me off curve, though. If my opponent plays a Spellseeker, though, I guess I could just Crater Maker it, but then I get Force of Willed. Let's get... This is a very tricky choice, actually. I would get Gem Palm Incinerator if I had it. So if my opponent has a Force of Will, I want to get something that's valuable that they might force. I'm just going to get the Black Source. My hand is good. I just need to continue developing. Holy crap, Ice-Fang Coatl. Don't see that much anymore. Kind of wish I had my Wasteland back. I would love to go Wasteland plus play another Mage and no land. Ooh, Siege Gang Commander. Hello, sir. Okay. We're gonna do this. I guess, Ephemerate Thalia. Okay, well, that's a punish. I can Creator Maker the Thalia. Force Pitch, Spellseeker, sure. Well, we can probably have a good shot of resolving Siege Gang now. Didn't think about Thalia when I attacked before playing my land, but it would have worked. It works out better this way, actually. Obviously, Wasteland would have been really good. And I got the Force of Will on like a not valuable card, just because it kills their 2/2. I guess it'll be a 3/3. But then I can start killing. I can kill the Coatl in response to Thalia flickering it on the next turn. Yeah, I'm probably just going to go Matron. They drew something. Ooh, okay. Siege Gang Commander is pretty good against that. Names Munitions Expert, sure. It's a good read. Sling Gang is a nice bit of stabilizing. Yeah, let's play Siege Gang. No plow. Teferi. You gonna bounce my Siege Gang? Okay. I'll just triple block your Thalia. I guess you can flicker the token. Ooh. Interesting. Didn't expect that. I guess that's a way to go up a lot of cards. But Bouncing Siege, I'm gonna triple block. Saves me life, which does matter. Oh, and you don't get to rebounce, okay. Would have really liked a land there. Can I do something with Matron for Skirk? Matron, Skirk, cast Skirk, sack Matron, cast Pashlik. Nah, not really. Just play this again. Okay. It's funny. This Ancient Tomb is starting to become a little concerning. Spellseeker. What do you get? Ephemerate, probably. Swords. No land, okay. So this is my opportunity. Land. Thank you. How do I want to use it? I guess now I can do the Matron. I think I can clear the whole board with Matron for Skirk. Okay. So now... just attack all face, I think. Oh no, I messed this up. I should have just played... I should have sacked the tokens plus Skirk, killed these 4, played Ringleader. That was a pretty big mistake. Okay, we'll just send everything at Teferi. Okay. Kill that. And then... kill the Spellseeker while they're tapped out. But yeah, I definitely could have resolved this Ringleader that turn, and that would have been better. And then when the Pashlik gets plowed, I can kill the Ice Fang. Maybe I should have immediately killed Ice Fang. Yeah, I should have immediately killed Ice Fang, because now I'm walking into an Ephemerate. I take 1. Yeah, that was like I played halfway around Ephemerate. Because now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be sacrificing this token anyway to play around Ephemerate. Skirk is the target. That's a little more surprising. Sorry, so let's make sure this dies. Okay. And then I will gain 1. sick. Really wanted to land there. It's a little sketchy to play that, but gonna do this again. Just keep playing around Ephemerate. Creator Maker, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. I could kill myself if I'm not too careful. If they have a land drop and they can just pop vacuum, I could die to my own Sling Gang. Because I go to 6, I go to 3, and I'm dead. So what I'm actually going to do is... I just don't want Sling Gang in the graveyard. It's just actually very dangerous for me. But it does reduce my clock. I'm just gonna do this. Gonna play it a little bit safer, gain a little bit more life. I don't think they have a land, but they could be disguising it on that turn. Cavern's awesome. Let's get the Siege Gang down. Okay, now I feel pretty safe. I get 3 damage Siege Gang commanders. Get a Spell Seeker. 6 cards in hand. They're probably stuff that requires stuff on the battlefield to work. Okay, there's a 5th land. Is this like Eternal Witness? Another Spell Seeker. All right. I think I'm going to play around Ephemerate and just do this right now. Right. Because it's kind of felt like they don't have Ephemerate. And I can deal 2 to their face, they go to 10. Ping that, they go to 10. They get Plow. Probably kill the Siege Gang. Ringleader attack 4, 5, 6, 7. What if I just Expert? Ooh, actually no. Target you. Sacrifice that. Ping that. I don't think I'm playing this game very well. I'm kind of doing incoherent things. Yeah. But it's still kind of fine. I think between Ringleader, Pashelik, and this expert coming off of Island 2, I think we're going to be fine. Siege Gang's done a lot of work this game, even though this is the first time he's activated. He's made a lot of tokens. All right, Swords Pashelik. Does that kill you? I think that kills you. That almost certainly means you're dead, yeah. Yeah, I'm not putting myself dead to Ancient Tombs. Then we just have Siege Gang activations for lethal. Nice. That was a cool game. I don't think I played it super well, but it was a cool game. Alright, Pyroblasts are going to be good. Pyrokineses are going to be good. Probably just 2 Pyrokineses. So I want to clean up the board, but I don't want to draw multiple copies, probably. Don't think I'm going to have Trash Master in just for Ghost Vacuum. I can leave the Crater Maker in, because onboard removal is kind of good against ephemerate effects, just in general. Probably cut Lackeys. Yeah. The game could have been a lot easier if I had not messed up on the Matron for Skirk, play Pashelik turn. Because if I just sacked everything, killed everything, play Ringleader, attacked a fairy, I end up with a bunch of cards in hand and more ahead on board, I think. I definitely want... I think I'm pretty confident I want 2 Pyros. Because it's just so good against Felia, because you get to kill it plus the thing they want to flicker. And I want the Pyroblast for Spellseekers. Yorion's a big one. Teferi's a big one. They're almost certainly have Hydroblast in their deck. What's bad here? Most of my cards are good, is the thing. I think I want the Skirks for Pashelik and to ramp into Muxus. Trim a Seer Slicer, maybe. Like a Battle Cry. Kind of weird. Cutting Seer Slicer is probably wrong, but I don't know what else I'm cutting. This is no red sources, but Double Vial. Gotta do Double Vial. Turn 1 Tomb Vial is... Tomb Double Vial is just really strong. And we draw the land for a Cavern, no less. I might, like, force that. Nope, okay. I'm probably wasting on turn 2. I can't deny Ophelia, kind of regardless. Okay, I guess that would technically deny Ophelia. But, like, I'm not really concerned about Ophelia flickering 1 vial. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I'll wasteland after this brainstorm resolves. I guess I get got by a Stifle, but that's fine. Okay. Okay. I guess it's worth saying, if this Skirk was a lackey, I could just probably put Muxus into play right now. Let's do attack first, I think. It's probably Ice Fang Quaddle. What am I matroning for? Could matron for Muxus. I think I'm going to matron for Matron. The reason I haven't seen a Solitude yet, but I kind of feel like they probably have a Solitude in their deck somewhere. And so the reason then would be if my opponent had Felia plus Solitude, my Expert wouldn't work when I try to kill the Felia before blocks. All right, no Consign or Dress Down. That's nice. Yeah, we're going to Matron for Matron because we have Double Vial. And this is going to be Coatl or Felia. No, it's not. Okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah, this is round 3. It's been like an hour and a half. Ooh, that sucks. Well, no, it doesn't. We're fine. I'm going to leave a vial on 2. Am I? How much do I need to expert on their end of turn? Most of their creatures have flash. I would get to Matron for Matron again. I don't know if I actually want to do that, though. Does stagger? I'm going to leave it on 2. That's a good reward for that. So now we have Creator Maker or Expert up. Okay. Just get Ringleader. And put in Creator Maker. And then I'm going to stack the vials like this. And I might leave that vial on 2. GG's. Yeah. Yeah, my hand was really strong for the matchup. Is that gonna work? Nope, it's not. Okay. Yep. Opponent had a little bit of a weaker hand, which, just happens sometimes. And I guess they brainstormed twice and just didn't find what they're looking for. But yeah, double vial and a cavern. All right. 3-0. It's 1:30. I guess we played against Control twice. I might call it after this next match. I might call it at the 4th match because I can feel myself starting to lose my ability to commentate and play. Normally I'm quite an night owl, but this is I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule, and so I've been going to bed more around 2 than my typical like 3:30. So I am getting a little more tired than I otherwise would be. All right, be excellent. We've played a number of times. Be Excellent tends to play fair blue decks, so we might be in for another long one. Kind of crazy to play against. I mean, I'm not gonna just assume it's control, but it could be like I think his last video was like Esper mid-range stuff. Okay, seems a little bit sketchy, but we're on the draw. We'll draw lands. We're fine. If the vial doesn't stick, it's a little scary, but certainly I keep. Classic Goblins. Here's my 7-card hand. It can cast 2 of the spells in the hand. Keep. Both for mana costs and color values. Island. Okay, you love to see it. Second Cavern's excellent. Alright, so I will lead on the first Cavern, even though it makes it more likely that he counters this vial. But he'll probably do that no matter what, if he has a counter. Yep. But the reason to do that is if I need to expert something on turn 2, like if it plays like a Baleful Strix, that's probably what I'll do to play around Kaito. Archmage's Charm. Okay, that's not what I expected. Am I getting standstilled? Nope, okay. Ooh, hello. I think I am just gonna mux this, or expert this guy. Don't let them grow a big creature. My best draw is Ancient Tomb, and it's not even close. Script Prospector would also be good. Another one of these. Brainstorm first. Okay. Okay. Can't be a Murktide yet. These islands making me very scared about back to basics, which I will absolutely eat shit to. Oh, that's a really good draw. Okay. Let's attack first. So now I'm threatening Muxus next turn. Cavern is probably good against my opponent's deck. I think this is really going to come down to a back to basics. They've got 3 cards. This thing's going to get big, maybe. I guess you can equip and it gets double triggers. probably just going to I would really like to draw a land, so I have the option to just play Ringleader. But oh god, no! Why'd I say it? Fuck. Well, shit. Can't really attack, yeah. Oh no. Oh, it's bad. It's bad for me. I could just attack and like trade. No, they'll just block the prospector. I could attack with battle cry only. What's my route to victory here? If I draw land, then I can activate. I can just be like activating battle cry every turn, but I'm not sure what my route to victory is. That back to basics is really, really brutal. It's like the only card in Magic I would lose to. I think I am going to attack. Because this is my only opportunity to take this trade. And if I just can't cast spells, I just need the game to end sooner rather than later. Maybe I'll draw a Lackey. Yeah, this trade is good. This trade is good for me to make because if I draw a Lackey, then the way is clear. Okay. Pyroblast is going to be pretty good post-board. So if I can just draw fetch lands, I'm like, okay. This kind of feels like a Murktide, in which case I'm very dead. It's just mono blue control. Is that a thing you're allowed to do? It is Murktide. Alright, well, it's sort of a unlosable game, and then the only two bad things that could happen happened. Yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. Okay. Got cheesed by back to basics. Yeah, if there wasn't pressure, I could actually win that game too. Alright. Anyway, I think those cards are all going to be really good. Obviously can cut a Wasteland. Expert. Probably only... Oh, there's probably Tamios. I'm going to assume there's Tamios. Don't really want to cut Lackey against a back-to-basics deck. Don't really want to cut Skirk against a back-to-basics deck. But I'll trim one. Pashlik might not be great in this matchup. Crater Maker's probably not great. And I will trim one Expert. Makes my mana a little easier if I don't have to fetch black ever. This hand's really unexciting. But it like plays magic. No, I just don't trust that hand. Yeah, his hand's way better. Double Vial against the mono blue deck has to be the dream, right? Put back Trawler. Archmage's Charm does steal either vial. I do want to be aware of that. But opponent didn't show any creatures to vial in, at least. I probably will not surveil. Having access, making sure I always have a 1 basic mountain is pretty important. So that I can't be locked out of my Pyroblasts. Even though this doesn't really look like a back to basics game because I have double vial. Well, we'll see. Getting to draw a 3-drop would be nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not gonna do anything. Okay. And I'm just gonna pass. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just genuinely all islands. This is such a funny way to build a deck. I'm assuming it's some sort of challenge. That's obnoxious. Is this Dreadnought? Okay. Okay, now I think I just have to push damage. I'm also scared of Hydroblast here. I boarded out my Crater Maker, that sucks. Okay, I'm gonna surveil. Yeah, that's a good card. So now we go Expert. Get Battlecry down. Okay, does not have Hydroblast, I think. Or maybe didn't have an end step stop. And is now thinking about it. Let's do this. Do I want to... I think the Cavern is actually less important than a red source. Representing Pyroblast does matter. This is kind of bad against a Murktide. Yeah. Oh, Dismember. That's fine. You're about to just take so much damage. You can't play back to basics and Murktide in the same turn. Sure. Now you take 5. If I draw a land, game's over. Vials. I'm actually going to leave it at 2. Nice. This is only put you to 1. It's still worth it. I don't think their deck can beat being at 1. Cool. All right, Creator Makers come back in. Experts coming out. I think I'd want their Skirk in. Kind of want Pashlikmons. Do I want any experts? I think it's probably important to have experts just for... Like, I'll have access to 1 expert for... Well, maybe. It combos with Bombardiers to kill Murktide pretty consistently, which does matter. I think I'm just gonna go without. It's a little scary, but we got the Pyroblast for a reason. We've got Bombardiers. Yeah, sounds cool. Notably, this hand does not care at all about Torpor Orb. It doesn't even really care about back basics. And the nice thing is that, since I cut all but 2 of the black cards, it's pretty free to... That's a nice one. Like if one of my Ancient Tombs gets back to basics, I'm not too worried about that. Okay. Probably playing Bombardiers this turn, because then I can go... No, I don't have double red. So I'm probably just playing Seer Slicer off Wasteland. Post-combat. Interesting. I wonder if my opponent's playing Counterspell. I think we'll find out. Okay, here's a black card. Not great. Let's just attack. Thinking about Dismember on the Skirk. If I get to my second main, I might get to do something cool here. So, I think my opponent is a Dismember, right? So what I can do is instead of playing Wasteland, I can play Ancient Tomb and play Seer Slicer with mana floating. And if I then pass priority, they dismember the Seer Slicer, and then I sack it for red and play Battlecry. And so I get to double spell, despite not really having the mana to double spell. This is counterspell. Dress down. That's fine. I could play Battlecry here. That's kind of an interesting idea. Nah, don't need to do that. If I draw Black Source, I might just boggart them. Keep him off Murktide. I want to draw a red source or a Pyroblast. Murktide here is a 5/5, which is an awkward number for me to deal with. Okay, no Murktide. Black source, Pashlik. Pashlik's not bad. So now that incentivizes me to kind of do things the other way, where I do this first. And if they kill the Skirk in response, then I play something else. Hydroblast that. Sure. Kind of not loving my position just because I don't have a Pyroblast. I just really, really want a Pyroblast. Or be able to double spell. They have a Dismember too. Or a second Hydro. Jeez. Alright. Yeah, my hand's pretty bad now. Unfortunately. All my lands are bad. The second tomb is bad, the wasteland's bad, the boggart's bad. I could just play the boggart tapped, but if I draw Black Source, then I'll want to cast it. So I guess I'm playing the Ancient Tomb. Getting the Hydroblast out of the way does mean that if I do draw a Reb, I'm in much better shape. Ponder's scary. Yeah, that was pretty, that was like kind of an essential turn to boggart. Here's Murktide. I think I'm gonna lose. Unless I draw Pyro. I guess if I'd fetched Badlands, but I think that would be insane to do. Yeah. I hate this card. It's like been my enemy for as long as it's been printed. That's a completely useless draw. I'm on a 2-turn clock, kind of no matter what. That's my way out of this. I guess if I play Battle Cry, sacrificing Skirk, there's a chance I can race. Come on, deck. That is such a troll draw. That is an unbelievable troll draw. So I deal 7 plus 4. Can't beat anything. Yeah. Drew really badly this game, honestly. Kind of shameful to lose to Monoblue control as Goblins, but just didn't really draw any. Didn't draw any of the important cards in my deck, and my opponent had 2 Hydroblasts. Yeah, just GG. It's kind of a frustrating one, but got cheesed out by Back to Basics game 1, and then deck just didn't really cooperate this game 3. Kind of ironic that if I had fetched Badlands and then denied the Murktide, we would be really ahead. If I had not taken so much damage off Ancient Tomb and I had 2 turns. Yeah, the tombs just really screwed me over. If I had 2 more life, what was I at? I was at 5. Now it's not enough. Yeah, if I had drawn a red source, I'd have lethal. Plus 3 damage, plus 4. So, yeah. Needed a red source or a reb or a something. Another Bombardiers, maybe? Yeah, another Bombardiers does it. Because then it can just kill the Murktide if it's not lethal. I don't think it is, but... I mean, they probably had a counterspell. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to mulligan. No, I was not supposed to mulligan. I just drew bad. I drew uncastable, Boggart, and 2 redundant Ancient Tombs. No, I drew 1 redundant Ancient Tomb. Pashlik got Hydroblasted, which was fine. Yeah, I mean, just like Lackey would have been good. But I don't know. Just fast Murktide, fast 8/8 Murktide is just always good against Goblins. And I didn't draw Pyroblast. Kind of simple as that. I also finished the league. That was faster than I thought it would be. Disappointing. This definitely could have been a 5-0 league potentially. But them's the breaks. I do hate pretty viscerally hate getting cheesed out by back to basics, though. It's very frustrating. All right. Bob Pliskin. Let's refocus. This opponent almost always plays Painter. His hand's kind of mediocre, but does have some key cards. Notably Double Wasteland against the Saga deck. Boggart's decent against Welder. Ancient Tomb, Painter. These are always the scariest starts. That's pretty good. I could just Surveil here. I could just play Matron now. What am I matroning for? I feel like my opponent's probably going to play Fable next turn or hold up a Blast. Hard for me to beat a Blast. Okay, I think playing around Blast involves just not casting anything this turn. Plateau. Oh, come on. Alright. Well, I guess if you had a Blast, if you have a Spirit Guide, I'm dead. Oh, you do have a Spirit Guide. That's an insane hand. Okay. That's literal nuts. Alright, we're getting cheesed out pretty hard. A little bit frustrating. That's okay. I think we have a really good setup post-board. So red-white. Ghost Vacuum is always a card I look at in Painter matchup, and then I'm kind of go back and forth on it. Man, just straight up turn 2 kill. I don't think Wastelanding was reasonable. You can shave Sling Gang. And Sear Slicer's not great against the Fury deck. Let's do this. Man. Wheels falling off. What a surprise. Alright, this is a YOLO keep. I'm gonna lead on Lackey, and then die to anything. This is such a stupid keep, honestly. Well, it's stupid to lead on Lackey, but I'm doing it because it's 2 AM. Past 2. Sometimes they keep a crappy hand. Lead on Urza Saga. Play Pithing Needle. If we find an Ancient Tomb, then we're fine, no matter what happens to the Lackey. No, come on. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'm glad I did lead on Lackey. Kind of crazy to have Mox Opal online on turn 1 as Painter. That's like kind of impossible most of the time. Do you have a Bolt too? You do not. Alright. Holy shit. Well, that's pretty fucking good. Yeah, go. Well, I guess we both took turns with the absolute nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 goblins off of Muxus. If you have a painter plus thing, you can very easily beat that. Canonist. Okay, that one is not doing anything. One quadrillion damage. Okay, well, that was very silly. So we saw Needle, we saw Canonist. I'm not seeing any welders. I think I just run it back. Double Pyrokinesis is exactly what you want on the draw against Painter. Nope, not Turn 1 Fable. Okay, no Pyroblasts. That's good to know. Wasteland is good, but I feel safe enough because of double Pyro. Sure. No attacks. Okay. Bombardiers is cool. I'm probably pitching it. I'm probably pitching Muxus. It's my only Muxus, but I think given how this game's looking, I don't necessarily need Muxus. It is tempting to Wasteland. But then that sits by Matron back a turn. And if my opponent just tries to combo me, they're just going to get blown out. Because then I can Pyro the Painter, pitch Muxus, Matron for Expert, kill the Engineer. And I should just save this for Saga. Until my opponent shows some sort of weakness. Ringleader is going to be good because I'm going to be losing a bunch of cards. Though they might mill the Ringleader, but whatever. So this time walks my opponent. I do lose my Ringleader though, which is actually a bummer. Do I keep the Muxus then? No, it's just so far away. Ooh, milled another Pyro and an Munitions Expert. That kind of sucks. Lackey is not the move. Kind of wonder if I broadside Chuck Vial. That can't be right. But I don't really want to Matron for Expert either. Because that puts me on a path of running out of cards. If my opponent like plays a Fable or something. Maybe I do Chuck Vial. It's an interesting conundrum. Opponent's at 11. If they go to 11, if I play Bombardiers here. Spirit Guide, Bolt. Okay. I can just let them grindstone me again. Time Walk again. They deal themselves another 2 damage. I Kinesis, Pitch, Lackey. Yeah. I guess if they top decked Pyroblast, I lose right here. Okay, they didn't. Milled my Pashlake. That's annoying. They have no artifacts. I kind of want a Ringleader here. Kind of lose to a Fury. Well, not lose, but am worse against. I think I'm Ringleadering. I need to get cards. What are my odds on Ringleader? How many goblins do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 goblins so 19 goblins, and so it's like exactly 50. Average goblin in my deck's pretty good. They have no artifacts in play. I'm gonna do the Ringleader. It does entail risk, but I don't see any line that doesn't entail risk. Like Bombardiers makes removal really good against me. Okay, that's fine. Not the best Ringleader ever, but good enough. I guess I die to another Grindstone. Or another Painter. No. It has to be Grindstone. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Oh, wow. That's insane. That's an insane top deck. All right. I guess that's my fault. That's so stupid. That's such a stupid way to lose. Okay. Maybe I should have Pyrokinesis the Welder. Instead of letting them try to grindstone me a bunch of times. I guess what I should have done, when I topped the Ringleader, I should have Pyroed the Engineer so that they don't grindstone me. Because the reason I lost that game is because I had to choose between cards and safety, and I chose cards because I kind of felt like I had to. Ugh. Painter usually only plays 2 grindstones. So I'm going to check my opponent's list if they have it up. Because, oh god, don't look at my constructed rating. Like, if they're playing multiple grinds, like more than 2 grindstones, then that's one thing. ST Bob Bliskin. Yeah, this looks like they're playing 3 grindstones. And the 4th in the board, but it's a Karn thing, so it's probably just 3. So I died to a 2 of top deck. I'm not gonna beat myself up over that. I think they just got extremely lucky. Yeah, they just got really lucky. So we had a really good start, and then the wheels sort of fell off. Both the losses were pretty specific things happening, which is, always frustrating. That's like when you feel like you can't lose in any way except the exact way it happens. That's always like the most difficult way to swallow. Because it's like, yeah, I could have played around that, but I don't think that would have been correct. Like the Monoblue game, I could have fetched Badlands and won that game, but I'm very confident that that's incorrect. Because you just lose to back to basics. And then the Painter game is just, I could have killed the engineer. I think that was like a genuine mistake. But the fact that it got in that position in the first place was like, all right. Well, we didn't play against Oops or Reanimator, and the games themselves were pretty good, we'll say. So pretty cool. Siege Gang was good. So nice showing for him. I'm going to call it there. Next video, we'll probably be talking about the bands. So see y'all next week.